Hi everyone, it's Andrew, and I'm going to speak about the 23 themes that describe the technical aspect of teaching. Our assignment was to select a top 5 of the 23 and discuss the techniques that work in our classroom settings. My classes are elementary physical education, kindergarten through 6th grade to be exact. Therefore, my classes are held in some kind of large open space, which are either a gym or outside, depending on whether time of year and the activity being taught at the time. So here's my top 5. Number 1 is delight. This is my first pick of teaching techniques, and it is really easy for me. The delight technique is the ability of the teacher to create learning experiences that are extra memorable by designing a positive surprise or a pleasing experience. Almost all elementary children look forward to time spent out of the ordinary classroom. Even though my class is still a learning atmosphere, the fact that it is a different type of learning environment and a physical activity makes it enjoyable for them. No matter what lesson we are working on, they always look forward to running and playing. Number 2 is time and timing. This teaching method is based on the teacher's ability to organize the duration of learning activities and the intervals between instructional elements to optimize learning. Again, I think my class lends itself well to this idea. All of my elementary classes are based loosely within this design framework. I always organize the first part of my 50-minute class period with stretching and warming up the muscles and joints of the body. The length of this section of my class is around 10 minutes long. Following that section, I have them do some cardio to get their heart rates up and the blood flowing. This would last around a few minutes, followed by their water break. After this, I go straight into their lesson for the day. For example, if I'm doing a unit on basketball, I will introduce the subject and explain the layout of the court, what the lines on the court mean, such as the free throw line, three-point line, the elbows, half court, and the out-of-bounds lines. After that, I would go into just some of the basic terminology that they must know before they even pick up a basketball. Then I will teach one skill per class period, like ball handling, passing, shooting. Once we have hit on all these skills and have assisted and guided practice, we can put everything that they have learned together and go ahead and play the actual game. Number 3 are clear learning goals. This is the ability of the teacher to identify and precisely express what concepts the students will be learning. Everyone has heard the saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Because so many of my classroom goals are physical skills, it is quite easy for me to demonstrate what we will be learning by not just telling students, but showing them. Even though the physical goals may require many repetitions and much more practice, the concept of what is to be learned is easy enough to comprehend. Number 4, I have is practice. This is the teaching technique that educators use to improve recall and application of learning through rehearsal, repetitive efforts, drills, and study. This teaching method is at the very heart of physical education instruction. Each class period is building on to what has already been learned before. Getting stronger, becoming more proficient in physical skills training, such as learning to dribble a ball in the unit I teach about basketball, is crucial to my classroom instruction as well as student success. The only way to gain skill in any physical situation is to practice. Number 5, performance feedback. It is a technique teachers use, and I find helpful in my classroom. It is the teacher's encouragement towards increasing student persistence at a task. As students practice dribbling a basketball, for example, I can provide a major difference in the work ethic of those children by praising their efforts, helping them when I see a problem, and demonstrating both right and wrong approaches to the skill being performed. Left to their own individual practicing, students may get discouraged or frustrated, and that's not something that I want in my classroom. We were also asked to select 3 themes that we may find somewhat problematic in our teaching, and here are my 3. The first one I chose is diagnosis. This is determining what a student knows and is able to execute for the purpose of a starting point in instruction. I find this problematic because there are many different skill levels in physical activity. I see students who are basically inactive and do very little physical activity. There are children who are overweight and are somewhat self-limiting. I have students who have all sorts of ranges of mobility issues, from the child who has a sprained wrist to the child who may have ongoing physical disabilities. Contrast these scenarios with a talented young athlete, throw them all into the same class period, and the issues will arise with how to initiate instruction on a unit such as basketball or any of the main sports. The second one is chunking. Especially with younger students, I find it difficult to encourage retaining of information and a skill set pertaining to an activity. In order to become proficient in any activity, students must remember the rules of the game, how to perform specific skills such as dribbling skills, and the more detailed aspects like not dragging a pivot foot. Students need to remember the information and skills, but often cannot retain mental instruction and play proficiently. And the last one, number 3, is first time learning. This is unlike most teachers. I interact with many different age groups on a daily basis, switching gears hourly as I teach concepts to kindergarten students and provide guided practice to 6th grade students, and anything in between is not always easy. I must continually remember the physical development of each grade level and the cognitive awareness of children of all ages. Thank you.